Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the Hawaiiverse podcast, a podcast that supports local by keeping our native language alive, not just in February, but throughout every month, every year, and forever and ever. I'm your host, Kamaka Diaz, and since this is Mahina Olelo Hawaii, Hawaiian Language Month, we have another Hua Olelo Okala, word of the day. Today's word of the day is ki'i vave. Ki'i vave. It means Instagram. Ho'ohana au ya ki'i vave. I use Instagram. Our guest today is actually pretty well known on ki'i vave, so let's introduce him. Our guest today is a kumu olelo Hawaii from the island of Oahu. He comes from an ohana of many talented musicians. He also received his Bachelor of Arts degree in both Hawaiian language and Hawaiian studies and a master's degree in elementary education from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. This local boy is currently a kumu olelo Hawaii at the Kamehameha High School Kapalama campus, where he teaches 1 to 4 conversational Hawaiian and hakumele. He is also a member of the Hawaiian musical group Keoho. They have released 3 albums and they have a total of 17 Umikuma Hiku na Hoku Hano awards. This kumu, Kikopau, this kumu began his Ho'opili My social media journey in 2020 and has been posting videos to his story and feed teaching Olelo Hawaii to his mom, aka student cousin Cappy, and his page took off with followers from all around the world, myself included. Mm-hmm. Since then, he has built a community of learners across the land and around the world who participates in his free weekly classes hosted on Zoom and continues to collaborate with businesses such as Zippies and organizations to platforms on Hawaiian language in all places possible. I am so stoked he's here today. It's going to be a great episode. His name is Jonah Kahanuola Solatorio. Aloha, Kahanu. Welcome to ID8 Studios here at the Entrepreneur Sandbox in Kakako. How are you doing?
I'm good. Mahalo, brother. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's nice to finally sit down and talk stories with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we met actually at the end of 2019 at Ho'okua Aina at Aloha, just randomly. I think it was a community day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I heard you talking Hawaiian to somebody else. That's kind of like how it goes. You hear somebody talking Hawaiian and you kind of niele over. You just get interested and you like you know, you get a little nosy. And then we started talking stories and we figured out we both speak Hawaiian. You're a kumu olelo Hawaii. And that was the end of 2019 before you started Ho'opili Mai. I remember you telling me that you're going to start this.
Yeah, on ki'i vave even. So it was kind of, it was just random. It was my friend's birthday, and she just wanted to have a day at Ho'okua Aina. So we were there, and all of our other friends, we olelo Hawaii. And 4 years later, it's actually something that came true and something that I wanted to do. So
yeah, and you're killing it, which is so cool. It's super cool to see the growth, you know. I was telling you about what I was going to do. I was like, hey, I'm going to pay off my student loans. I'm here making videos and whatever. And then you were telling me you're going to do this. And now look at us. Yeah. We actually did what we set out to do. It's the coolest thing ever.
And it deserves the Kiko Pau.
Yeah,
which
Kiko Pau,
if you don't know, period. Yeah.
Yes, we'll be throwing in a lot of random Hawaiian words throughout this episode. Yeah. So either look it up, learn Hawaiian, or just try to follow along the best you can. All right, so we have a lot to get into. And before we get into that, we always got to start at the beginning, the kinohi. Where are you from? Where you grad? And what was it like growing up?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Kewalu'uka or Papukolea here on the island of Oahu. Homestead life, so, you know, just like families, kanikapila, always Hawaiian food, always good food. Just a real tight-knit community kind. Went to Kamehameha, got in kindergarten, and then pretty much have been there ever since. After Kamehameha, like you said, went to UH, majored in Hawaiian Studies, Hawaiian Language, and master's in elementary education. I think from when I was young, I told myself I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I think I was always meant to be a teacher. Yeah. Because for me, I'll always be a student, and I know those are going to be the best teachers. Yeah. The ones who can always learn, and they're never learn enough.
Yeah.
That's what I always want to try and do, is just learn whatever I can. And not only just Olelo, just everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're students of life. We're haumana of life. Even when I was teaching English in Madagascar, I felt like I was teaching, but I was learning so much about myself, about the act of teaching as well. There's just so much you can learn in every moment. But I want to know, because I guess now you're kind of seen as this expert, or I don't know, like a perpetuator of Hawaiian language, especially on social media. Did you grow up speaking Hawaiian?
No, actually, in our household, no one spoke Hawaiian. My older brother, Kilipaki, he went to Punanaleo for 1 or 2 years. But after that, really nothing. So my first taste of Olelo Hawaii, like in a full class, was my middle school, 7th grade. And I want to shout out my kumu, Lilinoi Kahanui. She pretty much instilled that passion in me to learn Olelo Hawaii and to continue it. And put that kuleana. In Hawaiian, we call it awamu kuleana, which is just to carry that responsibility of continuing the language. And I've been in love ever since with the Hawaiian language. So yeah.
Do you think people should have a kuleana to learn Hawaiian if you're Hawaiian and you live here?
I think even if you're not Hawaiian, just having that kuleana to continue, and it is an official language of this state of Hawaii, which people don't realize.
Yeah, you can write your checks in Hawaiian.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're supposed to cash it. So
yeah, my dad only does that.
Yeah, but I think just having that kuleana and that responsibility, just to learn words. Yeah, you don't have to learn how to speak fluently, just how to pronounce words correctly. And using the okinas and kahakos, which I'm really happy that a lot of the street signs we're starting to see have okinas and kahakos on them. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, like I want to ask you so much more about your life, but we're already in this topic, and I can't not ask it. So how do you feel about okina and kahakos, which are the glottal stops, and what is the kahako called?
Macron. Yeah.
So it's like the line over the words that elongate the letters. Some people use it, some people don't. I see both sides of it, because Hawaiian was never a written language. It was always spoken. So the only reason they included okina and kahakos was so that people could understand it, people could read it. Because people wouldn't know whether it's like, how would you know it's like ka'a? It separates the two A's, So some people still don't use okinas and kahakos. I use okina and kahakos because I went through the Hawaiian language schooling system, and if you didn't use them, you would get deducted points because that's how you spell the word. So what are your thoughts on that?
I see both sides too, and I appreciate the people who do use the diacritical marks and the people who don't, because if you look back, pretty much our first introduction to a written language was missionaries, but it really got big when the newspaper printer came, and for all of the new pepa, they don't have any diacriticals. So
even the puke, the paipala hemole,
the paipala hemole, they don't have any diacriticals. Bible. So reading some of these stories, you see a word like, I don't know, what's an example with okina or kahako?
Let's see. Let's just say ma'alea.
Yeah, ma'alea. And then without it could mean something different. Yeah. But you'd have to just understand it through, context-wise. When it comes to like teaching okina and kahako in my classroom, I make sure that my students read it so they understand what the word means. Yeah, because if you're a beginner learner in the language, you're not really going to understand by context. Yeah, you're not going to know this word means something or whatever. But if you have the okina and kahako in the right place, then it should be fine. So I personally use okina and kahako, but I do appreciate those who don't.
Okay. Yeah, and I think as long as you can understand it, I think one thing that we forget is language was created just so people can understand each other. So even if you're not super fluent or you're not saying everything properly, as long as you can understand somebody, you can express your feelings, you can understand what they're trying to say, that's all you need in language. I mean, you look at Pidgin. Pidgin was created because all these people couldn't understand each other.
Yeah.
And so they created this dialect, I guess you could call it, where they just took little words from all of these other languages, Portuguese, Filipino, Japanese, Hawaiian. And that's how you got Pidgin.
Yeah.
So people could understand each other. So that's all it is. We're just trying to understand each other. So you don't have to be so like, oh, because you didn't use a kako or okina, I have no idea what you're saying. You get the gist of it.
You get the gist, yeah.
Even if somebody's like trying to speak to you and then like their Hawaiian's kind of off, the grammar's kind of off, you get what they're trying to say for the most part.
And I see that a lot. You know, people try and Instagram me and message me and they're like, oh, how do you translate this? This is what I came up with. And it's completely wrong. But I was like, oh, that's a nice way of doing it. But this is what I would do, you know, give them another option. Yeah. So, you know, that kind of stuff. But it goes back to kind of my motto, which is just a'a ika olelo. Yeah. Which just means to, you know, dare yourself to speak Hawaiian. Even if it's, like I said, one word a day or one phrase, just speak it. Yeah. You may pronounce the words wrong, but I barely can pronounce the English words correctly. Shoot, so yeah.
I always tell people, even when I speak in the podcast, like I say things wrong all the time. Like I think a couple episodes ago, I said criterias.
Yeah, and we get it. Yeah, I get it. Shoot.
Yeah, I messed up. Like, so we make mistakes in our first language. Yeah, you know. So it's okay to make mistakes in your second language, or whether you're learning that as a foreign language or a second language. It's totally okay. And can you tell people what a'a ika olelo means?
Yeah. So that word a'a, again, with okina, with kahako, it all means different things. But okina e means dare or like challenge yourself, and then ika olelo just means challenge yourself to speak. Yeah, and olelo is good because that word means language, it means to speak, and it pretty much just connotates the Hawaiian language. So a'a ika olelo, dare to speak Hawaiian language.
Yeah, and it stems from the phrase a'a ika hula, waiho ika hila hila makahale, which they translate it to, you know, dare to dance, leave your shyness at home.
Yeah.
You know, so that's basically, just think about that in all aspects of life. Just recently, I started taking hula classes with my girlfriend Sierra. Yeah. Because when I was in high school, I mean, my elementary, high school, everything, I just didn't care for it. Yeah. I thought it was so stupid. Why am I doing this hula dance? I would just try to break dance and do stupid stuff. So now, as I get older, people ask me if I can hula, and I said, oh, I don't know. I don't remember any of the words. And so we took a class. We just took our first class the other week with Ajana Iwohi. Shout out to him. He's a friend of Auntie Kola, my sister-in-law's mom. And he taught us a kalak, what is the name for it? Kalakawa.
Kalakawa style hula.
Yeah, or why am I blanking now? Kavika. Yeah. So we started doing that, and it was just me and her in a private class. Then these other people started to come because their classes after us. So they were just watching us. And at some point, he wanted my girlfriend and myself to dance by ourselves and record each other so we can see. So basically, I had to dance in front of all these people. And these are our first class. We just learned these dances. I mean, I danced when I was young, so I was kind of picking it up quick. But I remember when I was in school being so embarrassed to have to dance in front of everybody. So when I was in high school, I had to play soccer at States. So I had to miss our big performance in Hawaiian language, Hawaiian immersion schools. You have these performances throughout the year where you have to dance a hula ho'ikes. So because you miss it, you had to dance the whole entire thing in front of the whole entire school. And the last time I did it, I was just laughing, cracking up. I started to do the dance and the oli, and then I wasn't taking it seriously. My teacher started to just yell at me in front of the whole entire class. And what made it worse is everybody started to cheer me on. They're like, yeah, like they thought it was so funny. And then I eventually got kicked out of class. And I don't remember what happened or if I even like got a bad grade or something. But fast forward, I don't know, 15 years later to just me in front of all these people, and I ikahula.
Yeah.
Like I dared to dance in front of everybody. I wasn't embarrassed. It was like such a cool, like full circle moment for me.
Yeah.
But that's an example of like, you know, dare to dance, leave the shyness at home.
And the good thing about that phrase is a'aika. You can a'aika whatever. You can a'aika hauki, sports. Dare to, you know, whatever. So that word alone means a lot.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
A'aika life.
Yeah.
A'aikiola.
Yeah. So at what point did you know that this is what you wanted to do with your life? Like you really wanted to teach Olelo Hawaii. It became such an integral and important part of your life.
Yeah. So middle school, definitely having one of probably my favorite teacher, Kumu Illinois. But in high school, my senior year, I had Kumu Kavika Air, and he's not Koko Hawaii. He's not Hawaiian blood. But he just loves the Hawaiian language and Hawaiian culture. And he really kind of inspired me to, you know, continue it in college. So just seeing these examples of kumu, even at UH, I had kumu like Keave Lopez and Kahikina de Silva, all of these examples of great teachers. And I just want to emulate them, how they taught me. If we think about that, there's going to be a lot of today, but nana ike kumu. Yeah, look to the source, look to your teachers. I just do this for them as well. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What does your mom think about all of this? Because I know she's always in your videos.
Yeah. So, I mean, long story short, when I was going into college, I was trying to figure out my majors and stuff, and I told her, I want to do Olelo, and I want to do Hawaiian Studies. And what she said was, nah, try something else. You're not going to
what
money
can you
in
do
Olelo.
with that? Yeah.
There's no jobs or whatever. And I was like, I thought about it because my first major was TIM, travel industry management. But when I went to the classes, they were good, but I don't know, I just didn't have that fire, that iini, iloko. So when I went to my first Olelo Hawaii class, it was awesome. Yeah. Just the being around the people that are like-minded, and we all have a goal to continue our language. That's what it was. And kind of, again, full circle for me is that 2019, when we started Ho'opili Mai, my mom was my student, So I was able to teach her the language, and she loves it, and she's learning it. She forgets sometimes, which is totally fine, but I don't know, just seeing her learn and being her kumu, it's just that full circle moment.
That is awesome. I love that. And it's an inspiration to see that, because it shows you that you can learn a language at any age.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very intimidating to learn something as an adult, especially after you've already lived a life, right? And having to become a student again and like start all the way at the bottom.
Fresh,
It's very difficult. So I give people props who learn it, as they get older. There are so like my dad learned Hawaiian after graduating high school. He never spoke Hawaiian before, and then he only speaks Hawaiian to us to this day.
That's awesome.
So I mean, if he can do it, you can do it.
I guess I think about it too. They never really had the opportunities to take all of these classes because it wasn't popular back then. Our kupuna, our grandparents' generation, they were still being punished for speaking Hawaiian in public school. So, all these people may not have a good relationship from the historical trauma of our language, but you can still grow and learn and change your relationship with it now.
Yes, definitely. And I think that's part of our kuleana in this generation is to show people what we can do with the language. Not only learn it, but show what we can do as scholars, as professionals, doctors, lawyers, influencers.
In all the jobs, influencers.
Athletes.
Rick, the language can go so far. Yeah. And I mahalo schools like Anuenoi, Navahi, Kalaniʻopuʻu for showing their haumana that Olelo doesn't only live in the classroom; it can live outside as well.
Yeah. I mean that also makes me think of like aʻohe pauka, aʻole pauka ike kahala hoʻokahi. Like learning and isn't just done in one classroom. Like you can learn so much throughout different phases of your life. traveling, throughout playing sports, doing music, whatever you're into. So I think, and one of the coolest things about knowing Hawaiian is all these olala noeaus, these flying proverbs. It's like, that's what we live by. It's like these values that we live by, right?
And it's funny because we probably learned them from, elementary, middle school, but they're still stuck in us today.
I know.
We know it.
Seriously,
Yeah.
it's like Bible verses.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just can't forget them.
But you can use them in so many different contexts
and
and
it's
stuff.
just it's almost like going to someone for advice, right? It's like, I don't know what to do, what to think in this situation.
Yeah.
What would Mary Kavena Pukui do?
Yeah, exactly.
What would our kupuna do?
Open
What
the
would
book.
Tutu do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's we're like you said, we're nana ikekumu. We're looking at the source, seeing what they would do about it, and then trying to emulate it.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. Is we're using the past, because Hawaiians have such a rich history. We have an amazing past, but we have an even brighter future.
Definitely.
And I think that's the coolest thing about Mahina Ola Hawaii. It's showcasing that. It's showing people like, hey, here we are. We're a living language. We're not a dying language anymore. And, we're kumus, we're scholars, we're influencers, we're all these different types of people in life.
It's living, yeah.
And we're showcasing our Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Not just our language, but our culture.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part about it.
And, just so excited for the future generations.
Yeah.
My students, my grandchildren's generations. By that time, Olalo will be everywhere. Yeah. But it takes certain people to set the building blocks and make it grow and flourish. And the foundation first, and then you can build off of it.
Yes, I was
So.
just thinking about that. Another one of my favorite Olaloiaos. And why don't we just throw in one more?
Do it.
Aohehana nui ke aluia. No work is too big when done together.
Yeah.
So we can just go on and on for days with these.
Definitely.
But I hope that people listening, they have the same passion as us, or it's igniting this fire inside of them to learn Hawaiian, or just like be part of the movement, And when like Kanu said, you don't have to be fluent. Just learn a few words. Aloha, mahalo.
Yeah.
Pololio.
Pololo.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
What's it called? I think for us too, we live in a generation. Well, we kind of were in the middle of two generations.
Yeah.
One that was very, no social media, no electronics, and then now everything is all on the phone. So that's what I appreciate, having your phone, having different apps, Instagram even. Our Lolo can live through that, and I've seen a really big interest, just people learning from Instagram and stuff. So,
and you do something really cool where you go on Zoom and you teach people. My girlfriend is actually a haumana of yours. She takes your Zoom classes, and they're really helpful, and I really appreciate that you're doing that for the Lahui, for our community, our people. So where did that idea come from?
So this pretty much started right after the pandemic, or during the pandemic, actually. We were all forced to nalu, I'm just going to say nalu, and kind of pivot and learn how to teach online. The first couple months of teaching online, I was like, oh, this is not for me. Like, we have this thing where alo ahealo. When you learn, you got to be face to face in front of the person, seeing how they talk, seeing how they move and stuff. But we just had to pivot. And after a couple months, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to go online learning or whatever. And I was able to build Google Slides, all this curriculum, and use it in my high school classroom, which I kind of was the foundation for me to build a free online class via Zoom, and see how that went. And the first couple classes, I put it on Instagram. There's a huge interest. So I realized that showed me that people want to learn. They just don't have the access to learn. Not all of us can go back to the university and take classes, just because we have day jobs or whatnot. So we had a first night class, which was like on a Thursday from 6 to 7. The first class was amazing. Just seeing all these people, not only in Hawaii, around the world.
There's
like
people in Japan.
Crazy.
learning.
But what I really appreciated was the diaspora, all the people who had to move away from Hawaii because it got too expensive. from Washington. I had some from New York even. So saying if we start at 7, that's like already 12 o'clock their time. So seeing that dedication from the students all over the world was amazing.
Yeah. That's super cool. Even like when I look at the demographics of this podcast, or I get messages from people like listening in the Netherlands, in Brazil, in Puerto Rico, it's like it's so crazy the reach Hawaii has, right? And there's so many of us all over the place, and like people who, like you said, had to move away because of unforeseen circumstances, couldn't afford it, whatever, but they still want to connect to their culture, whether that's just through olelo or through another aspect of our culture.
I think too, like a lot of people, they're connected to hula. So a lot of my Japanese students, they're all want to learn what the words say in the hula that they're dancing. I was like, the Hawaiian culture touches so many people. Not even just aloha, the Hawaiian culture, but just the aloha that we have. It reaches out to the world, and it's not something that you can just teach. We're born with this sense of aloha in us that you kind of learn.
It's something, like you said, you have to experience it face to face, because until you're actually here in the flesh, you won't really understand it.
Yeah. And that word alone, just aloha, it has the word alo in it. So, there needs to be some kind of connection and feeling with the person.
An exchange of breath, just the breath of life, whatever it is. Because you brought up, how people are connected to hula and they want to learn the meaning of the songs. You're also a very talented musician, and you're part of a very good band. Musical group, however you want to call it. So how did you get into music, and what is your connection between Olelo Hawaii and music?
So my family, we're really my dad's side has a lot of musicians, a lot of church singers, R&B singers. My dad is a R&B singer himself. He has his own group called Harmony. So when I was growing up, we were surrounded a lot by music, definitely R&B. So that was my original passion. I wanted to sing R&B music.
No way.
Yeah, but when I went to Kamehameha High School, we had the song contest. We were just surrounded by all of these music things. So I was in the Country Glee Club, and that's where I met my bandmate Zach Lum, his brother Nick Lum, and we just started Kanikapila, just jam, how we used to do in the homestead. We still do today. But that's where it started. And then from there, we just like, oh, this is fun. And then we got asked to do our first gig in our library at Kamehameha Schools. And it was like, okay, now we got to be professional. We got to dress up and stuff. But yeah, since then, I just love Hawaiian music. And in college, that's when we started writing our own songs. So I took a hakumele class from my kumu Keave Lopez, and that's where we really fell in love with the art of hakumele, because you can write a song in English and whatever, but writing a song in Hawaiian is totally different. You got to think about the kauna, because there's that level of English translation, and then the kauna, there's another level of the deeper meaning. This is a flower, but it's not talking about the pua keni keni. It's talking about a person or a child or something like that. So just seeing examples from our kupuna of these brilliant mele, I'm like, that's what I want to do. So I want to teach, and I want to sing, and I want to write songs.
I love that. That's another aspect of the Hawaiian language that is so cool. Is a lot of words have multiple meaning, and a lot of the things you say are up to interpretation. Just like how we say, "Na pua makamai o kia aina," the lovely flowers of this land. You're not actually talking about flowers, you're talking about the people. And it's very poetic, and even in the greetings, mai kalahi kia kalakau, from da mai puna paya ala I kahala, from this place, there's lovely fragrance of flowers, to hilo hanakahi,
calling out all of our land features, everything.
It's just such a beautiful thing that I just wish I appreciated more growing up. But that's how it is.
That's how it is, and now we appreciate it. Even me, like, I didn't appreciate it when I was in elementary. I was like, we gotta do this chant again, or whatever. But now it's just like, I wish I just grasped it a little bit more when I was younger.
I mean, Kit, to be fair, standing in the morning for about 20 to 30 minutes in the
Piko.
Piko, doing chanting for the rising of the sun, turning, doing Hawaii Pono'i, which is our national anthem, Hawaiian national anthem, but doing all three verses, because not everybody does all three verses, and then turning and facing the kumus, and then they have to do like a mana'o kala, like a word
for like half an hour almost,
like something of like a thought of the day. Then we have to sing a song, and then the women has to respond to the men about what they just said, and then we have to we have to do a chant to ask for permission to enter. Then they have to chant back so that we can enter, and by then you're like legs are shaking, you maybe you didn't even eat breakfast in the morning, and then you gotta go
kids
start
are
class.
fainting already.
I know, we've had kids faint.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's been people that have fainted during the Piko. And Navahi, it's intense.
Mine was ALA. We started like dark, and we had to wait till the sun rose. So we were like ALA, and then kept going for like, I think the longest we did for like 45 minutes. Wait, we're children. This is crazy.
You had to keep repeating ALA
until the sun rose.
That one.
ALA, and it's a short chant, but singing it for that long, it wasn't 45 minutes. It was maybe 15.
It felt like 45 minutes.
When I was young, that felt like 45 minutes. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. But I mean, it's things that are important to the culture.
Yeah.
And then, I should be better at, asking for permission to enter these places and oli kahas and all that. But it's just, I'm working on it. Yeah.
We're all a work in progress. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this month, Pepe Luali, February, it's Mahina Olelo Hawaii.
Yes.
It's super cool how much the Hawaiian language has grown in the last decade.
Yeah.
Even when I was learning I was in Hawaiian immersion school, it was still very small. It's a new thing.
Yeah.
The Hawaiian Punana Leo was all like in the 90s, like when I was born, when we're basically the same age. So when we were born, and so we're kind of like the second decade of Hawaiian language learners, the people who learned it in school and speak it to this day. Now they have Hawaiian language on Duolingo. They have a lot of resources. You have multiple Instagrams that teach Hawaiian, like a past podcast guest, Maluhia States.
Yeah.
He does a great job on Ka'alala.
Awesome.
There's YouTube videos. There's like all these resources.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's really cool to see the growth. And even more cooler, I think, is how many people are actually interested in it and how many people want to reconnect to their roots. So we have Mahina Olelo Hawaii now, where they put on all these cool events. And we were talking right before this podcast that it's really awesome that we're doing this, but it's like we get so excited. It's like, Mahina Olelo Hawaii, February 1st. Hawaiian. Like, and then it starts to die off slowly by the end of February. It's like, okay, where did all that hype go? It's almost like a trend or a fad.
Exactly. Yeah. For just 1 month, it's like, I can Olelo, but then it goes to 1 week or a couple days. So,
and then it's like, okay, we're back at square one. So what do you think we have to do to continue that, to ho'omau that progress that we make, and not just make Hawaiian a cool thing for just 1 month?
I think, again, it goes back to that owamukuleana mana'o. It's just like, you got to put it on top of yourself to learn and to dedicate yourself to learning. And it's hard because we all have busy lives and whatnot. But then again, it's just like there's so many resources and there's so many things that you can access to learn. So, you just got to go.
I think the hardest part is finding a community, though, because yes, we have resources and I could learn on Duolingo. I could take your class. But then, like, where am I going to speak after that? You can't just immerse yourself in Hawaiian language here in Hawaii, because not less than 1% of our population speak it. You
need people to talk to.
So it's like, unless you're really going out there and just finding people that speak Hawaiian and always speaking Hawaiian, it's very hard to learn. It's not like I can move to Spain and just speak Spanish, or go to Mexico and speak Spanish. It's over here. It's really difficult.
It takes me back to like how we met at the lo'i. It's just like, are you overheard us speaking Hawaiian? It's just like, it may be less than 1%, but there are people out there, that olelo. I think like businesses too. I think there's one Starbucks, the old Ward Starbucks. They used to write their signs in Hawaiian. So there's someone that speaks there, so you can find them. You might have to do a little digging, but they're there. Yeah.
It's there. And another thing that's really cool you're doing this month is you partnered with Zippies.
Yeah.
Zippies, these Zippies.
These Zippies, yeah.
To translate their menu into Olelo Hawaii. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so me and my mom have been on kind of a hiatus for a whole pili mai, just because we're back in person learning, all that kind of stuff. But then last year, maybe July or August, Zippies reached out to us on Instagram. And we're like, wait, is this like a fake account? All these people have scam accounts now, but I don't think Zippies would have one. But no, it was their marketing team. They wanted to kind of plan ahead and see if we can do something for Olelo Hawaii month. And it started small. We were just going to do like the specials or, a little bit of the menu. But it just turned into this huge thing. I got my students at Kamehameha involved. They were translating it with me. And when I told them that we're going to do something for Zippies, their eyes lit up. Their eyes lit up because they're like, it's something outside of the classroom, like I was mentioning earlier, something that they can see, Olelo Hawaii lives everywhere. Yeah. And Zippies, come on, it's Zippies. There's so much locations all around the island, and I think all around the state, and
we have
one in
Hilo
Vegas
now.
too. I think
There's one in Vegas?
I think they're building it maybe, but those kinds of things like gives those students those kind of passion. Yeah, it's like builds that fire in them. Yeah.
It shows that it's possible to have Hawaiian outside of the classroom, and seeing it incorporated at restaurants, at popular restaurants.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, so maybe there is a possibility to, have Hawaiian everywhere else. And maybe Hawaiian can be everywhere else.
Yeah.
Because it's just, if you don't see it, it's hard to believe it. Right?
And then I've been like reading some of the comments on the post, and they're like, oh, but some of the waiters and waitresses, they wouldn't understand or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, definitely. But the thing is, it's one step further. It's one step further for the Olelo Hawaii. We just gotta keep going. Maybe next year we can have them learn a little Olelo of how to take the orders down or whatever. But just it's there.
It's like the saying Neil Armstrong had when he landed on the moon.
Yeah,
like one step for man or something, one giant
leap for man. Yeah,
or
mankind.
something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like one small step for us, but one huge step for the Lahui.
Again, and it's not. We don't do this for us. We do it for our children, but also we do it for our kupuna who didn't have the opportunity to learn Olelo Hawaii. Yeah, because that was my papa. He would tell me the stories about him in elementary school, with the ruler or whatever. Or he had to write, "I will not speak Hawaiian." So he stopped going to school. He just went to work after 4th grade. I was like, "So what? You were working already at 9 years old or 8 years old?" He was like, yeah, we had to make money, and I wanted to speak Hawaiian, so
wow,
I do it for him.
That's
I
awesome.
do it for Papa.
It's crazy to think just 60 years ago, I don't know, about 60, even before that
recent,
nobody could speak Hawaiian. Like you would get physically be beaten for speaking your native language. That's insane.
But now
we're living legacies.
Yeah.
So you had to translate a lot of words for Zippies, and one of the hard thing about the Hawaiian language is that there's not a lot of words for things. You know, there was never a word for Instagram. There was never a word for computer, or all these new things coming up. You know, so people just have to make up words, and every year there's new words coming out. There's new words that I've never heard about because I just grew up speaking it. So, I mean, even my dad would just make up words. Like for wale, he would say waleka.
Waleka,
And then some other things. So sometimes it's hard for me to know if I'm saying a real Hawaiian word or my dad just made it up. But stuff for like Zippies, Napo. We were talking about apple Napo. Like so what is apple Napo in Hawaiian?
It's crazy because in Hawaiian, or like if you look at the dictionary, there's two ways to translate things. You can either do it transliterated, which is it sounds like the English word, or you can do the Hawaiian thought. Like a good example of this is the word for computer. There's two words: kamapula, which sounds like the computer, or lolowila, which literally means brain, electric brain. So I like to go with the more Hawaiian thought way, but like words like zip pack. Shoot, my mom came up with this word. She was like, "Oh, I don't know, zipupaki." I'm like, first of all, there's no Z in the Hawaiian language, and second of all, no. So we just,
Student
like,
cousin Cappy, sit down.
yeah. But then certain words like zip, we're just like, oh, it's iconic for zippies. We're just gonna do paw zip, paw for plates, or that kind of thing, and then zip. So
yeah.
But Napo, we did mea ono apala, so like the dessert, apple dessert, which is kind of tricky because, it could be a apple streusel or apple donut or something. But we're just like, we'll try. There's another one we wanted to do was napala apala because it kind of just does that rhyme thing. But I don't know. I don't write dictionaries, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, nobody else is making up these words, so I mean, you could be the first one to make it up for zippies.
Okay, I'm changing it.
Yeah. I like the napala apala. Yeah, I love that. Well, one thing I started to notice when I was learning other languages, and I was, it made me more interested in Hawaiian as well, is how these words break down like the etymology of it.
Yeah.
Like lumi ho'opau pilikia, which is bathroom.
Bathroom, yeah.
But it literally translates to the room where you get rid of your problems.
Yeah. It's great. So
I love that.
The bathroom, or is it a therapy session? Or what do you know what's going on?
Whatever it is, but it's the lumi where you get rid of your problems. Yeah.
And then you have the other one, which is lua.
Yeah.
Which means the pit, it's like pit or something. Yeah,
exactly. That's before there was bathrooms, flush toilets. That's where
the outhouse.
Yeah, you had to go. It was just a hole in the ground. That's where I had to use the bathroom when I was in Madagascar.
But lumi hopa pilikia, that's a good one because my students are like, "Wait, pilikia means problems." I'm like, "Yeah, so figure it out.
Go to the bathroom and figure it out." That's funny. Okay, so speaking of these words and these words that we have to make up to, find Hawaiian words, I have a game I want to play.
Okay, let's do it.
So this is a new segment presented by 7-Eleven Hawaii. I just came up. You just helped me come up with a name. It's called Fake or Fake. All right? Fake or Fake. All right, presented by 7-Eleven. And I want to give shout out to them. They gave us some Ono food to try later, some spicy inari pack. We got some large fried salmon. Super Ono. Wow. I've already had these things. The karage chicken. Yeah. It's called a menehune pack. Like a little pack over here. And then we got some pork adobo with fried rice, egg, and bento.
Can I call that? I'll call that one.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, Jordan had his eye on that one. So you guys got to hakaka. You guys got to fight for that.
Period.
Yeah.
Pico pao.
Okay. And then they also gave us some 7-Eleven candies. We got hot sake ika. We got sour lychee gummy. And then we got some slivered rose cherry. Okay. So some of these things we got to heat up, but we can do it after. We're going to try some after because we just had lunch, some Ono lunch. But shout out to 7-Eleven. Everything is locally operated. They have unique fusion of flavors inspired by regional cuisines, like allowing adobo, salmon, and taquitos to coexist, right?
Yeah,
Where else can you find that other than 7-Eleven Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are like staple items. They're affordable and, super convenient.
They're worth it. Yeah, I go there for lunch all the time.
Yeah, you just go around the corner, you can find a 7-Eleven, right?
Remember elementary? The field trip lunch? Musubi. And an passion orange juice from freaking 7-Eleven.
Yeah. What's your order from 7-Eleven? When you go in, what do you come out with?
I get 2 musubi. It used to be 1 when I was younger, but now I get 2. But I like their, what's it called? Guava Pog Slurpee or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's not there all the time, but they're Pog Slurpees.
It's like a special seasonal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and their Manapua slaps.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It putties.
I love that. That's something we should start, is using Hawaiian words as this like literal English translation just to make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little slang words.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were saying, kiko pao. You told me something. I KUINI.
I KUINI. If you know what the word I means, and you know what the word KUINI means queen, of course. I means yes, queen.
I KUINI. Kiko pao, period, per. Shout out to
Bretman.
our podcast guest,
Bretman
Bretman.
Rock. Yeah.
Okay, so how about we open up these snacks and we play this game? Okay, so these are all 7-Eleven Hawaii snacks packaged by local partners on Oahu. And, there's a million snacks that we have at 7-Eleven. So which one do you want to try? The hot ika? I probably will okay with the hot ika. I don't like spicy things.
Yeah.
Let's go with the sweet things.
Shoot. What is the rose one? The rose one sounds good.
This is slivered rose cherry and then sour lychee gummy. Okay, so I'll open this up and then but I'm gonna do this game. Okay, so this is the segment called Fake or Fake, presented by 7-Eleven Hawaii. Okay, all right. So I have to get my phone so I can look at it. I wrote down a bunch of things. So basically, there's a bunch of words that are in Hawaiian. But you have to tell me if they are fake or if they're real. Okay. And then the fake is just a play on words. Like we're making it into a Hawaiian word. Okay. And okay, if you need help, you can ask me to use it in a sentence as well. Okay. If you're not sure. All right. Oh, I forgot to open this. Hold on. Okay.
I'm scared. What is the words?
We got some snacks. So you can think and eat. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me know how it is.
That's good.
Okay. Lychee gummies, mean. It tastes just like lychee.
Yeah. I'll try one after.
Okay. All right. Fake or fake?
Ready.
Kukio. Kukio.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Okay. Ua ike au ikela kukio. I saw that kukio.
I'm going to say, because if we break it up, ku means to stand, kio means judo. I'm going to say fake.
It is real.
It's real?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It means small pond.
Oh, okay.
So I can kind of see it, right? How they're thinking of this, all right? Kukio. Okay, so everyone you get right, you can eat a snack. And everyone you get wrong, I get to eat a snack. How about that?
Got it.
All right.
Like give me this the word like aloha.
Mahalo. Okay. Oh, wow. Slivered rose cherry is really good.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Pulani. Fake or fake? I guess fake. We say fake is real, and then fake is the main.
Got it. Okay. I need another sentence, please.
Okay. All right. Mahalo no keia pulani. Thank you for this pulani.
I'm gonna say fake.
Fake as in it's a real word.
Yeah.
I made it up last night.
Oh gosh. What do you translate it as?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I was just thinking of words
together.
I was like pi'ilani. I was thinking of that. Like pi'ilani. I was like, oh, what about pulani?
Pulani. Yeah.
So next, another snack for me.
God.
All right. Okay.
I suck at this game.
No, this is hard. I would never know these things, but that's the fun of it. Next word, kunahihi. And people play along as well. If you're Hawaiian language speaker, try to guess these.
Help me, because I need more snacks.
I know. I'm living the life right now.
Okay, so the other one. Okay, I'm thinking. My thought is that it is a fake word. It's not a real Hawaiian word. But I'm gonna switch it up and go with it is a real Hawaiian word.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
I'll let you change it.
No.
All right. Well, you will be not kunahihi because it is a real Hawaiian word that means shocked.
Did I win?
You won. You won. Yes,
okay,
it's fake.
good. Yes.
Help yourself to one of the snacks.
I'm gonna take two while I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm coming back.
You can. Kunahihi. I know. I've never heard of that word before. For shocked.
You look at the dictionary. There's billions of words that I don't even use it
exactly.
every day.
And then words that they used to use like back in the days that we just don't use these days. Okay, next one. Kepela.
Oh.
Kepela.
Can I get a sentence, please?
Okay. Let's say, Mama, hikia'u ke kau makela kepela? Mom, can I ride that kepela?
Can I get the part of speech?
Kepela, Hawaiian.
Hawaiian, okay. In that case, fake? What does that mean?
So fake as in it's wrong. It's a made up Hawaiian word.
Yes.
I'll let you change it.
No.
It means zebra.
Oh, yeah. I knew that. Oh, God. Okay. I'm just going to take one.
Yeah, all right. Feel free. All right. Okay. We'll do a couple more. Okay. This is really fun. I hope everybody's enjoying this. Okay. Next one is oeve. Kahako oeve. Oeve.
Oeve. I know the word. There is the word ieve.
Mm-hmm.
So would there be a word oeve? No. Or fuck it. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to enjoy some more gummies next because it's real.
I'm just going to take this. You keep your gummies.
Hey, you're the Hamana now. You have to listen to the Kumu, okay?
I'm sorry.
It's a real word. It means gene or genetic.
Oh, okay. I'm going to start using that one.
So I was thinking Ieve. That's how I
came up with it.
And I was like, oh, guarantee Oeve is going to sound like a made-up word.
Yeah.
That was my thought process.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Okay. All right. Here's one, okay? Kanapa.
Any kahakos?
Kahako on the last E on pa. Kanapa.
See, that sounds like a word because you have words like kanapi, centipede, kanaha, 40.
I love this.
Oh,
this is such a fun game.
This is.
Especially because I get so many snacks.
I'm going to say it's not real. Fake.
Help yourself to some snacks because it's not real. I just made it up. You know what I think? It's actually harder for Hawaiian language speakers to play this game.
Yeah.
Because you know the other words.
Yeah.
So I think doing it with people who don't get speak Hawaiian, they're just gonna guess.
And it's a 50-50.
It's a 50-50 shot. Yeah. So now it's like you're overthinking certain things.
Yeah.
So it's funny. Okay. Last two. Okay.
Okay.
Next one is uahoa.
Whoa. Rain friend?
Uahoa. Yeah.
Whoa.
Or was friend.
Was friend. Whoa.
Uahoa.
It sounds real. It sounds like it could be like a rain name or something. Let's go with real.
Okay, fake. It is.
Yeah.
Oh, you got two in a row.
What does it mean?
Hard, severe, harsh, indifferent to the distress of others. Yeah.
Wohoa.
Never used it. Probably will never use it after this.
But we know it.
But we know it now.
That we know.
And I hope this goes to show that there's just so many words out there.
Yeah.
That, if you can't think of a word, like the specific word for like drink, and you're thinking, okay, what do you do? It's something that you drink. So, inu means to drink. Thing is mea. So what a drink
inu.
is mea inu. It's something that you drink. So when you think of something that you just don't know, like what it is, like give me a word.
Microphone. Yeah.
Microphone. It's like mea olelo. I don't know, like something simple like that. First thing, something you talk. Mea
leo or something.
Mea leo, yeah.
What is the real word? Ipuleo.
Ipuleo.
So it's kind of similar, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like you kind of figure out ways around it.
Yeah.
Okay, last one, right?
Okay. For all the marbles.
Ka-nana.
Kago.
Ka on the the first one, and then nana. Ka-nana.
I want to say one more sentence since it's the last one.
Okay. Let's think of a good one. Okay. Ma ko'u kuke ana wo ho'ohana au ike ka-nana.
It means strainer.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
it's real. Yes.
Wow, 3 in a row. Way to end it. It means strainer. See, you just got it from the context.
Super Bowl, here we come.
Well, now you win all these snacks. Feel free to take it home. Mahalo to 7-Eleven. That was Fake or Pocket presented by 7-Eleven Hawaii. Let us know how you like that. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Let's do more words.
Yeah. I was thinking of maybe making that into a game for Hawaiian learners. I think that'd be really cool. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll get into Instagram questions.
Perfect.
All right, we're back. I just had to go to the Lumi Ho'opau Pilikia and get rid of some of the problems I had. All right, so diving into Instagram questions, okay? Keeping it keeping.it.rel. She's really awesome on Instagram. She does these cooking videos. Go give her a follow. Super awesome. She just says, "Mahalo nui for all that you do." Heart hands emoji.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love following her because she has the best cooking videos ever.
Great.
And I tell myself to make it, but I never make it.
I know. I said
I'm sorry.
it, and I
will.
save it to people, and I never do it. But I got it. We'll do it one day. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll have her on one day and we'll do like a cooking demonstration live on the podcast. I think that'd be really cool.
I'll be the taste tester.
Yeah, we'll call you in.
Yeah.
All right. So this next question comes from Hi WV Fern VNDEZ, like Hi Fernandez or something. Okay. This person says, "Pehea oe I aoai I ko lelo Hawaii a he aha kau o lelo no ea o punahele." Translated, it says, "How did you learn Hawaiian and what is your favorite Hawaiian proverbs?"
Yeah, wa hele au iki kula kamehameha. And a me ke kula nui o Hawaii mamanoa, a ma leila au ia o ka o lalo Hawaii. Wa'o puvo ma kanana ana I ka YouTube. Kela Mauvikio, ana ke e kela, Kaniopio Crocher. She had these videos called Kula Iwi from the 90s. And it kind of watching her and have that dialect with the TV audience, that was kind of what inspired Eho Opinion Mai too. Yeah. So, yeah, but I learned from that. And my favorite olelo, we probably said a lot of them today. Ao hipo keike ka halo ho'okahi. What else did we do? Iko olelo. Yeah, Oki kahua mamua. My favorite one would have to be... Probably A'aika Olelo. Yeah, just A'aika something. Just dare yourself to do what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
I
love that.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite phrases, I guess not really in Olelo no Ea, but was what Liho said, is Navai ho'i ka oleo kiaka mai healai ma'i ka helia e umamakua.
Yeah.
It's like, who wouldn't be wise on a path walked by our ancestors?
Yeah.
I really love that one.
So good. It's so... It could be a song. It could be
so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, who thinks of saying things like that so poetically?
Because you could just be like, "Oh, go to school."
Yeah.
But no, it went. Do what your kupunas would do.
Yeah, exactly. I know we need to make a shirt. What would Tutu do?
Yeah.
That's gonna be our first Hawaiiverse podcast shirt. Let us know if you guys would buy that.
Yeah, I'd buy it.
Oh, and you have some merch too, right?
Yeah. So we have a couple like Olelo Hawaii cards, a lot of like partnerships. So we did one with Actions of Aloha, Olelo Hawaii phrases that you can use every day. So yeah, go check them out.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. Next question comes from Kaloa Robinson. He wants to know, are there efforts you're involved with for in-person promotion and instructions for locals who have relocated to the continental U.S. As opposed to online and social media efforts?
Yeah. So not kind of like things throughout the whole year, but recently I've been doing a few workshops. Last summer there was one in kind of like Oregon, near the border of Oregon and Washington. I forget what the city is called, but it's called 4 Days of Aloha. There I did a couple workshops, a beginner's Olelo Hawaii workshop, an intermediate Olelo Hawaii workshop, hakumele, and ukulele. And just seeing all of the Hawaiians that live out there, they were just so excited, and it was just fun to do a class for them because it was like brand new because they haven't been around Olelo Hawaii for a while. So I did that one in August maybe. September we did another one called Live Aloha in Seattle, and kind of the same thing, beginner Olelo and then hakumele. And we, in that hakumele class, we wrote a oli and we wrote a couple verses for a song together. I don't know, it was just a good time. So if anyone else out there wants to do like Olelo Hawaii promotion wherever around the country, even on the other continents, other countries, I'd be so down, because getting those words out. But again, Zoom is so good because you can reach all these people from your house, from your living room. So
and if anyone is interested and you're not here in Hawaii, make sure you check out the Zoom because the classes are very well done and like anybody can join with zero knowledge, maybe just a little bit of experience. Even if you're advanced and you need a refresher, perfect.
Yeah, and that brings up a good thing too. I have people from, their first Olelo class, people who've been in 402 at UH Manoa, but we all just get each other, and we're just there to Olelo. So, yeah, all the gambit of people, but Holomua Makolalo Hawaii.
Yeah, definitely. And before this month ends, make sure you go find some events to go to. Maybe you can find some friends, a community group that you can go to and start to visit and get involved with.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to learn. Okay. Next question comes from Keakea Lani. Congratulations on partnering with Zippies. Are there other companies you are collaborating with for this month to promote Olelo Hawaii?
Other companies would be just the classes that I'm doing. So I'm working with a couple nonprofits, Local Air, down North Shore side, and then Key Project in Kahalu'u, and then the East West Center at University of Hawaii Manoa. They're all sponsoring these classes to get Olelo Hawaii out there, especially this month. So we're ending our class next week. We can take a week break, and then we're going to start another one the week of February 20th, I believe.
Okay.
So there'll be a couple opportunities to learn Olelo Hawaii.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there any recommendations for places to go, or like, so people are listening to this, there's like one more week of February, so there's still things to do. What do you have any recommendations for people to like visit anything? Or
Yeah, I know there's going to be a event down at Kamakanali'i. I think it's on the 25th of February.
Okay.
It's called Olaka'i, and it has like vendors, Olelo Hawaii vendors, entertainment, of course, and ho'okuku ha'iolelo, so speech competition.
Wow,
Olelo Hawaii.
in Olelo Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So that would be a good event to check out.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, mahalo everybody for leaving the Instagram questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe a question will make it on the podcast.
Awesome.
All right, so now I want to get into the heavy hitting stuff.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
But before
Wait, that wasn't heavy?
no,
before?
no,
Okay.
we're gonna go real deep. But before that, let's just start very light. What are your top Hawaiian songs of all time?
Wow. All time. Okay.
Just maybe just a couple that stick out in your mind.
Kaleo Hano.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And sing it.
Kaleo Hano. Kaleo Hano Ko'inoa.
Love it.
Which is great because that's the first sentence you learn in Hawaiian. Blank Ko'inoa. So, yeah. Kaleo Hano and All Hawaii Stands Together. I don't know. That's just one of my favorite mele lahui.
Yeah.
And then there's also the full Hawaiian language version, which I love. So
yeah, I guess I never ever think about that as a pop song. I'm thinking like Kili Iraisha, Eomai, or Kanohona Pilikai, or whatever. But yeah, I forget about like those actual like where everyone's hand is like, oh Hawaii.
It was actually after Kukia Imauna.
Really?
I don't know. That song just got to me, just the words, and I would sing it with my students, and everyone would just stand up and like cheer the loudest. So yeah,
I think because of the not because of that song, but what it stands for. And, the timing of it is like it like became like a kuha'aheo kind of song, right?
Definitely.
Like everybody had that collage.
That's another one.
Right?
Kuha'aheo. Yeah, love.
Who wrote that?
Kumuhina. Hina le Moana.
Kumuhina, okay.
Yeah.
That's such a powerful one.
Definitely.
Yeah. Kuha'aheo.
You feel the mana, you feel the power.
Definitely. Okay, cool. All right, so that was just like a little like dip in the water.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready.
Toes in the water. Okay.
Makoko.
All right. So of course, Hawaiian culture means so much to the both of us as Native Hawaiians and people who speak Hawaiian. What does it mean to be a Hawaiian in these days? Because there's so many different definitions, and people would say, you know, it's a nationality, it's koko, it's blood.
Yeah.
And I talk about it on the podcast all the time with different guests. But first, I don't think there's a right answer. I don't think there's a wrong answer because it's always evolving. Culture, people are always evolving.
Yeah.
So I just want to know your thoughts on it.
I think someone who, again, takes on the kuleana to not only learn Olelo, but develop themselves in Hawaiian culture. And also our loina, our Hawaiian values. Living by those Hawaiian values that are kupuna, kind of modeled for us. Lokahi, unity, laulima, cooperation, kuleana, that sense of responsibility. Because those things you can teach it, but again, some of these things, they're just instilled in us from when we were growing up. Yeah. There's always that conversation about Hawaiian at heart, or Koko Hawaii. But some of my kumu, like how I said, kumu kavika, air, kumu puakea nogomai, they're not Koko Hawaii, but they've done so much for our lahui. Yeah, they've created these resources, or they've taught all of these people that still continue their language till this day. So we mahalo both sides. I mahalo them for being my kumu, being my foundation too. So yeah, I don't know. There's, again, like you said, there's no right or wrong answer, but having that sense of kuleana to the Hawaiian nation, the Hawaiian people, the language, and the culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my next question. Does it even matter? Does it matter that I'm Hawaiian, you're Hawaiian, if what really matters is the actions that we take?
I think I hear this all the time, and I didn't really get it at first, but there's that crabs in a bucket kind of thing. How there's like people always trying to pull other people down and whatever. Even Hawaiians pulling other Hawaiians down. Like what is our goal? Yeah. Why do we do what we do? Why are we even having the conversation about Coco or not? Like, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I think we're just all here trying to holomua together. And that's my opinion. Yeah, if you have another opinion, that's great. We can have a conversation. But again, we have a lot of people who aren't Koko, who kokua, and who kako'o us fully. They support us for the longest time. So yeah.
Yeah. I know it's hard because everything is so diluted by now.
Yeah.
Is that it's hard to devalue somebody or like lessen somebody's worth because they don't have Hawaiian blood.
Yeah.
But they're doing so much for the lahui. Like my dad isn't Hawaiian. One of our teachers at Navahi, Pila Wilson, was like one of the top 5
pioneers,
people, the pioneers who brought Hawaiian language back. Yeah. He's not even Hawaiian. Yeah. So it's like, at some point, does it all really matter? Yeah. Or what really matters is just what we are doing for the lahui, for the people, and how you're living your life. Like, I think at some point it's like you're from Hawaii and you're Hawaiian, or you're a Kanaka Maoli, you're native to the land. Yeah. At some point, there's really, like, and it's sad to say it, but there's not going to be any. I mean, not Hawaiians, but like the percentage of blood is going to be very, very small.
That's true.
So let's say in 2,000 years from now, if the Earth is even here in 2,000 years, will there be any Hawaiians left? Will there be any like other races, or is it just gonna be just like we're humans?
We're just here, yeah.
We're humans and we live in Hawaii and we're Hawaiian because we live in the Hawaiian ways. Yeah. It's stuff that I think about. It's like there's always these debates. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm just like, in so many years from now, like, does the blood quantum even matter? Yeah. Yeah.
I think another thing we got to think about too is, Hawaiians definitely had a strong relationship to the land. Yeah. So this being Hawaiian is that having that reciprocal relationship with the Aina, whether if you go to the lo'i, or if you sing songs about that land, or even if you just know your rain and wind names, because these things are around us. These elements are around us, and they take care of us, and they feed us, they nurture us. So those kinds of things, knowing your place names and using the place names that are kupuna made, not no Diamond Head,
Hawaii Kai.
Hawaii Kai. You can go with Leahi or Kapukaki instead of Red Hill. All of these names that we can, and we have access to finding what they are. We've just been taught the foreign name, but we can change it. It's a simple change. Yeah. We can do it.
And it's really just being conscious. It's just like how here at Hawaiiverse, we want people to make a conscious decision to support local. So it's the same thing as making a conscious decision to use Hawaiian over English, you know?
Yeah, and it's you're
hard
not gonna learn it. Well, you're not gonna do it in a day. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, but just get yourself in that habit of doing it.
Yeah. I mean, just like for me, I've had family in Hawaii Kai growing up, and then when I moved to Oahu, that's where I lived with my grandma. So Hawaii Kai. That's all I ever said. And then learning that it's Mauna Lua. It's like, well, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, Mauna Lua, but if I say that to some people, they're not gonna know what I'm talking about. So.
And it's hard because Hawaii Kai is technically, it sounds Hawaiian, but it comes from Hawaii Kaiser. So it comes from that name, which that's a whole nother podcast. Shucks.
Yeah. So I guess that's another question too. Something else to talk about is like, when do you use Hawaiian and when do you not use Hawaiian?
For me, I'm like a gung ho always Olelo Hawaii. I mean, when I can, when I know the people can understand. But again, everything can be a learning opportunity. So even if the audience is tourists, you just teach them the way that you want. So like, teach them those names, Kapukaki or Leahi or whatever. Everything can be a learning opportunity. Yeah, for someone. Yeah.
Okay. There's some people who tell me, I get messages like, oh, I'd love to hear a podcast in Olelo Hawaii, like do the whole thing in Olelo Hawaii, or like, you were even asking like, are we gonna do this in Olelo Hawaii or English? And I'm like, I would love to do that one day. There's a couple factors that go into that. One, you would have to do an hour-half long of subtitles, which takes a really long time. And we just don't have the resources to do that. I mean, I could do that, but I'll be up so many nights trying to do that. And then there's like, English is spoken so often that there's almost, when you're speaking Hawaiian, it's almost limited. So there would be, if we had a whole hour-half long conversation in Hawaiian, there will be times where we are limited in saying, or we would just have to throw in English word, which is mina mina, which it's like the sad thing, but that's just the reality of it. I don't think we've built this platform because the people are hoping to speak Hawaiian. So it's like, yes, like it would be cool to speak Hawaiian, but not everybody's gonna understand. Not everything's gonna putty the same, slap the same way. Because unless we do subtitles on every clip, whatever. But those are just some of the obstacles that we face in trying to normalize Hawaiian.
It's a step, just sprinkling Olelo, doing that game like we did. Maybe in 10 years there will be a full Olelo Hawaii podcast or whatever. If we think back to 80s, 90s with
Lale.
Lale Kimura, having those, it's kind of like this, it's just pretty much their version of a podcast. Exactly. But again, everyone at that time could speak, or most of the people could speak, and those were all Mauna Leo. So native speakers who grew up, and they wouldn't stop for, I don't know this word, or how do you say this? They just go, they just rap. So
well, I'll tell you guys all learn Hawaiian, and I'll do a podcast all in Olelo. How about that? Okay.
That puts a kuleana on you now.
So once you guys can understand what I'm saying, then I'll do a podcast. Mako Olelo Hawaii Valeno.
Sounds like a plan.
But maybe we'll do like short little versions. Olelo-verse. That's what somebody told us.
Olelo-verse. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, maybe one day. Okay. All right. Love that. Okay. So for people who want to learn Hawaiian, but they always, they keep finding a lot of excuses. That's like one of the most common things. It's like, I don't have enough time, or I'm too old, or whatever. What is some advice that, you have the a'i kolelo and stuff, but like, what would you tell them, like, how to start? Like this, I just moved here from New Mexico, and I want to learn Hawaiian. I want to get into the culture. Where do I start?
I think a good start is to go out and buy a dictionary, a Hawaiian language dictionary, or download the app. So you can, that's the best way to start. It just incorporate different words. Change up a different word in your sentence. Like, oh, I'm going to the ka'a, yeah? Or, oh, I need to go to the lumiho paupirikia. Just, yeah, building blocks. And then you can start downloading the apps like Duolingo or even Drops. It's good because you're always going to have your phone, yeah? So when you have free time, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, just go on the app for like that amount of time and learn, yeah? Even if it's just one lesson or whatnot. And then you can get into going into classes, doing asynchronous learning. There's a lot of classes now that they give you the material and you kind of teach yourself, which is good for those of you who are just busy, and you only can do it on your time. But I highly suggest to find a in-person class or a Zoom class where you can talk to people, because that's what Olelo needs to live, is actually communicating and actually conversing with each other. Yeah. It kind of just be like you with the book talking to yourself. You need to talk to someone else. So like we said earlier, finding your community of Olelo Hawaii speakers, and it's coming up. And maybe that's on us too. We need to start building those communities bigger. Yeah, not just at the Kaiapuni or at Kamehameha, even out there in the community, making it happen. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully in the next couple of years, and like every Mahina Olelo Hawaii, we'll see even bigger events, more people coming out, and then maybe we'll see events just not in February, right?
Yeah.
Just these random events.
I know. Maybe we just gotta change Mahina Olelo Hawaii to Makahiki Olelo Hawaii, or even Ola Olelo Hawaii your whole life. So
yeah, exactly.
We'll see.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Zippy, sponsor us and we'll do it. Feed us for a year and we'll do it.
Thanks, Zippy.
Yeah. Okay. So, what makes you the most proud to Olelo Hawaii and be Hawaiian?
I think what makes me proud is knowing that my students are going to continue the language too. Yeah. Everything I teach them, I just hope that they take it in, they internalize it, and they either use it to further themselves in their careers, or they become teacher like me, And I tell my kids, I was like, you don't got to be a teacher. You can do Olelo Hawaii wherever you're at. Just do it. Yeah. So it's for them. And then what also makes me proud is for my papa, because he said he was proud of me when I was going into college and stuff. And he was like, yeah, you're doing it the right way. So I was like, okay, yeah. So it's for those things. Students and my papa. Yeah.
What is the legacy that you want to leave behind?
Whew, that's a hard one.
Like, how do you want to be remembered?
It's funny because people come up to me and they're like, "Eh, hopi mai?" They're like, they think that's my name or whatever. But even if it's that, then I'm good, because a lot of people have been learning just through that Instagram platform, the Ki'iwave platform. But I just want to be, not like you said, not a Olelo Hawaii expert, because I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't a Manaleo. I think the only Olelo Hawaii experts are Manaleo native speakers. So I don't want to be known as a Olelo Hawaii expert. And please stop asking me to name your babies, because I don't know. Some of you, I don't know you.
It's not that easy.
Yeah, it's not that easy. But I just want to be known as someone who, again, took on the kuleana to continue Olelo Hawaii. Yeah, which I think I'm doing.
I think you are too. I think you've already started it. You're gonna keep doing it. I mean, it's only been 2 years of it, 3 years.
Yeah,
of this
a couple of years. Yeah,
going on the 4th year, I think.
Yeah, and then this year was like, I was thinking like, maybe I just don't do Olelo Hawaii challenge, but the Zippy thing came up as like, okay, this is doable. We can do it. Yeah.
And especially if you're getting paid, that incentivizes us even more.
Yeah, if they feed us, we're good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so what do you think is the most important lesson you've learned in life so far?
That's the kind of question you got to think about.
Yeah, no.
For me, I mean, in relation to this language thing, it's never too late. Yeah. My mom is, I'm not going to say her age. She could be a kupuna already. But it was kind of like how I said earlier. She was the one who told me not to learn olelo. But then now she's loving it. She's learning from it. She's kind of been known. She's more known than me. People kind of think of her as a celebrity. But when it boils it down, she's learning. She's a celebrity, and she's known because she's learning this olelo at her age, whatever she's at now. And like I said, it's never too late. I have some kupuna in my Zoom class who are like in their 80s. They don't know how to use Zoom. They're like, I can't turn on my mic. I was like, okay, I'll help you. Let's figure it out together. But again, they're doing it because they want to learn in whatever capacity at whatever age they're at. And yeah.
Nice.
So
okay.
You know.
Okay. What are you most grateful for?
I'm most grateful for my family, my aina, my land, and my students. I absolutely love my students, and they irritate me. All my students, my online students, my high school students, they irritate me, but they're just great. They're funny. My high school kids are funny, and they're quick. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think you learned from them? Patience. Aho nui.
Yeah, aho nui, definitely. Not taking life too seriously. I learned a lot of different slang and TikTok dances because they're like, cool. They're giving me all these freaking TikTok things. But I just learned how to be. You know what I learned from them is being a better teacher. Yeah. Because when I was going to school for education, I didn't realize how hard it was until I was in the classroom. Because you learn how to teach, but you don't learn about classroom management. You don't learn about, outside problems or, you're a teacher, you're a therapist, you're a counselor, you're all these things. In a way, you're a friend. Yeah, you got to get to their level, show them respect. You'll get respect and just have that relationship with them. But, so... They taught me how to be a better teacher.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think one of the most difficult things about being a teacher is trying to be an authoritative figure, but also a friend at the same time, and trying to like walk on that fine line, right? Yeah. Like, how do I make them respect me, but how do I also be like, yo, what's up, homie?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Oh, I don't say what's up, homie, but I'm just like. But these kids, like my students, they see my videos on Zippies, or they saw I translated the Bruno song. We don't talk about Bruno, and they're like, cool, that's cool. I'm like, okay, I get some brownie points with that. Yeah.
You're the cool teacher.
Yeah, cool. I don't even know. Kukumu. That's a new word for the game.
Okay. What would you like to see happen in Hawaii in the next 5 to 10 years? Not just in Olelo, Hawaii, but just in general. Like, you imagine Hawaii in the future. What do you think has like changed, and where do you think we're at?
I would like to see us be a little bit more sustainable when it comes to, growing our own things, growing our own food and crops and stuff. Not really relying on the outside resources, but showing that we have a lot of value here in Hawaii. Yeah, and that kind of just boils down to managing our resources a little bit better, making sure our water is clean. All you people out there, stop spilling things into our water. That's our most valuable thing. Just going back to our relationship with the land. Yeah. And that's on me too. Like, I'm not a lo'i person. I'm not in the lo'i every day, but when I do go, I know that I'm doing this to malama and take care of myself, my family, the future generations, those kinds of stuff. So maybe we got to plan some Olelo Hawaii work days or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll be there.
Yeah. I want to go back, just touch on the thing you said about how water is important. Yeah. Just to show everybody how important water is because we all talk about our connection to the land. Yeah. But we have a whole ahupua'a system where everything works in synchronicity or whatever the word will be. Vai is the word for water, and the word for important is vai. It's just water.
So good.
So it's just that just shows you how important everything is, like the whole earth, the whole ecosystem is for Hawaiians.
It's brilliant. That's the word for valuable or important. Is vai. Water.
Make sure you bring your phone. It's water.
Yeah. It could have been that, or it could have been aina, whatever.
Or something, right? Or a zip pack.
Yeah. Zippo pack.
Zippo paki. Napala apala.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Awesome. I'm loving this. Okay.
Thank you.
So what are your future goals personally? Actually, before I ask you that, I want to know, are there any moments where you feel insecure about being Hawaiian or speaking Hawaiian?
Yes and no. I mean, I know, like, a lot of it, I kind of worry about what people will think of me, if I'm doing something, like how I translated the Disney song into Hawaiian. I'm like, should I post it? Like, when I'm about to post something, I'm like, should I post this or not? Blah, 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 blah. What do you think? What people think will be? I usually end up just posting it and seeing if people don't like it, I delete it or whatever. Actually, I deleted one thing. That's it. But like, when I got the comments back about the Bruno, and then all these comments on Instagram, and I did a rap for Pauahi and Kuhio, that kind of stuff. It was all positive feedback. Yeah. Really nothing negative about those kinds of things. They're like, oh, can you do more? Can you do more? Can you do more? And I'm trying to translate some other things and making Aloha Hawaii raps, but brother got sleep sometimes, so.
Yeah, especially after teaching all those kolohe.
Yeah. But then, those kinds of insecurities come up, but.
What about in speaking the language? Because a lot of one thing that holds people back from even when they're learning Hawaiian is speaking it, because they don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And there's levels, right? Yeah. Like, if I'm just talking to somebody, or I'm just talking to a video, or making a video for Instagram, like, I feel comfortable, and then it's like, okay, make sure I'm saying everything correct, because I learned Hawaiian as my first language, so everyone expects me to speak Hawaiian perfectly. And then you're talking to like a very like wise kupuna, or a teacher that's like has their PhD in Hawaiian, and it's like, oh, now I'm just like, I feel scared just to talk to you because I don't want to make any mistakes, and I'm fluent in Hawaiian. Yeah, Hawaiian's my first language, but there's times where I can get scared or insecure about speaking Hawaiian. This depends who I'm around.
That's definitely, whoever's around, whoever you're talking to. I think one example that's good is when I was at UH, I used to go to the Lumi Manaleo, and Auntie Lolena was there, I think, every day. And she would just speak to the kids in Hawaiian, and she's a native speaker, so you'd think she'd be the most intimidating person to talk to, Makolala Hawaii. No, she's so good. It would be me, and I was at that time I was a little bit more intermediate level, and I would just go back and forth with her and laugh, and we'd sing Kanikapila. I would take her out to lunch. We went to Golden Duck all the time, and then the UH whatever food stuff. I would take her home. She would come with us to watch music at Olani. So building that relationship with her showed me that, if I could speak to a Manaleo, just nonchalant and just rap like that, then I'm good. I'm good. If she can say it, then I can talk to anyone. But again, that's not true, because again, if I'm talking to like one of my kumus, I'm still in that Haumana level. I'm still in like, I'll always be your student. Even if I'm, a lot of the teachers that were at Kamehameha when I was a student, they're still there today. So even though we're on the same level now, I'm just like, still a lot I can learn from other people.
Definitely. Yeah, that's also interesting, and I like to get other people's thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of the podcast, and before we end, I gotta know, what is your life hack? Did you bring a life hack for us?
You told me to bring one, and I have one. And I don't want to make it like I'm repeating it all over and over and over. It's just, but that a'ai kolelo will always be my life hack, But a'ai, everything.
Yeah, like you said,
a'ai na mea apau. That would be my life hack. Just, even if you have naysayers or people who don't support you, just because you'll never know unless you just go, and you go full force and gung ho. I would have never known that I could be an influencer in a way. If I didn't post my first video on my personal Instagram, people would like it, and then I created the my platform. So, yeah, just do the thing.
Yeah,
just do all the things.
Dare to dance, dare to sing, dare to write, dare to post.
Yeah.
Dare to live life.
Dare to live. Yeah. Oh, we gotta make that one.
Yeah.
Kahanuola. That's the next one.
That's a nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Woo.
You should definitely do that.
Okay. Copywritten. Nah.
Okay. Do you have any goals for music?
I want to definitely get, and then my bandmate Nick, he's doing kind of what I was thinking about. He's kind of taking Hawaiian music, taking it into other genres of music. So, the R&B styles or rap, even kind of thinking about how we can take Hawaiian music further through the Hawaiian language.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a really good.
So follow him, Peva Music, on Instagram. See his journey, writing Mele Hawaii with other beats, cool. other genres. So, yeah.
Yeah, because you have Sudden Rush. You know, they were the OGs for Hawaiian rap.
You have what's it called? Kaikena now. And Ikakamai.
Ikakamai, all those amazing people. But yeah, I've never thought of like Hawaiian and country music.
Yeah.
Hawaiian and like heavy metal.
Heavy metal. That's the one I want to see. Heavy metal, rock metal, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
that would just be nuts.
Yeah, but one day, I think building the capacity of students and musicians even who can do that. That's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
But down the line, it's gonna happen.
It's possible because there's some Maori bands. They have one that they sing heavy metal
in Olalom Te Reo Maori.
Yeah, Te Reo Maori. Yeah.
Ooh. And I'm going to New Zealand for the first time in March. I'm so excited.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna go check them out though.
Yeah. We should start a heavy metal Aloha Hawaii band. Me, you, and Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. And we're calling it Kiko Pao. That is our name. That's the whole just Kiko Pao.
Kiko Pao.
Repeated.
Just play a heavy.
KUINI.
Have you ever watched the movie Popstar?
I haven't.
Okay, well, I was gonna make a reference, but now, if anybody ever watched that movie, it's funny because they have this one song. It's like the Lonely Island guys. Andy Samberg. They make funny songs.
Yeah.
And he has a song. It's just called Catchphrase. It's like, but they just have all these super random catchphrases, and that's the whole entire song.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking of. Just like yes, KUINI and
slang.
That pa'i and
that pa'i.
Yeah, we should see that more. This more Hawaiian slang because I think that's a really cool way to make it cool.
It definitely is.
And then idioms, and then just like TikTok phrases. I don't know. I did a whole list of TikTok phrases that I translated for my kids, and I told them it. It didn't slap, but Kiko Pao stuck, and KUINI stuck. So nice, yeah. Because even how's this guy Xavier?
Yeah,
he has, frick.
Yeah.
So and like everybody got their I guess slang, and you have Aiko, Olelo, and. But yeah, I think we can kind of expand on that. That's really cool. I'm gonna start thinking of something.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We can do it. We got it.
First, I gotta be hip and know what all the kids are.
What they're saying now
these days. Yeah.
Urban Dictionary, canteen.
Fire. That's fire.
That's fire. Ahi. But see, some of these things don't really translate. Like, that's ahi.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Fish. No.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Slaps is a good one.
Yeah.
What is it? That's tough. People say that's tough.
There's a whole bunch of things, and then
dang, I wish I was cooler.
There's a new one called the Riz. I'm like, what is Riz? It just means like you're like swag, I guess.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, why can't we just use swag? Swag sounds cool. But yeah.
Jordan, what's something cool? Jordan's like,
yeah,
Kiko Pao.
That's his favorite.
Yeah, I'll start thinking of some. Just follow along, and maybe you'll see some stuff that we come up with. All right. Okay. I have these last 5 rapid fire questions. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Favorite song to sing in Hawaiian?
Favorite song to sing in Hawaiian is going to have to be. I always go back to Noho Pai Pai. I always go back to Noho Pai Pai because you think about it and you think Noho, chair, Pai Pai, rocking, and you sing the words like, oh, Noho Pai Pai, oh, a nice rocking chair, oh, a grandma on a rocking chair. No, it's not about a grandma on a rocking chair. It's about the whole opposite thing that I don't know if we can talk about it on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about the Hawaii people love making kind of stuff. So that kind of fun. I think just any melody that you think is one thing and it's actually another, like Kaulana Napua. That's my favorite song to sing, because
That's a powerful song.
it's like, oh, pretty are the flowers, but it's not, or famous are the flowers, but it's not talking about the actual flowers that grow. It's about the people, the children that stood up to the annexation, the overthrow. They fought for our queen, and they would always stand behind our queen. It has one of my favorite Ololo'ea in there, or favorite lines, I guess, from a song. Ualava mako ikapohaku, which means we are satisfied with rocks. We're satisfied with the land. We don't need anything else. Yeah, money is cool. Yeah, whatever. But we have this land that can sustain us forever if they don't put stuff in our waters. But, you know.
Yeah. Can we translate the whole song right now so people can? Okay, all right. Because I remember we had to do that in like 7th or 8th grade. We had to
just
break down the whole thing, because it's one of the most popular songs. Kaulana Napua o Hawaii. It's written by
Ellen Wright Prendergast,
and it's just like, it's such a powerful song, but it sounds so beautiful, like
yeah,
na, 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 and but it's like, it's so heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy, but then the melody is so like, ooh, skipping to the whatever, the forest.
Yeah.
But no.
So I mean, if you haven't heard it, go check it out on YouTube, Spotify. I'm sure it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, we'll say a line, and you might have to help me because I don't know if I remember all of it.
Can.
But it's like Kaulana Napua o Hawaii.
So famous are the flowers or the people of Hawaii.
Kupa'ama ko
Mahope, yeah.
Mahope o ka aina.
Who stand firm behind the land or for the land.
Yeah. It's hard to say it without singing it.
Yeah. Sing it. Come on.
Okay, how about we go opposite? Why don't you sing it and then I translate?
Sounds good. So we're at Kupa Mahope. Hiki mai ka elele o ka loko ino.
So that's, I mean, it's been a while since I translated this, so it's like the people of like bad stuff. I'm not a scholar anymore.
Sin, I guess.
The
evil-hearted people.
Evil-hearted people arrive.
Yeah.
Okay. Evil-hearted people arrive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pala pala anunu meka paka. Don't ask me. I know pala pala means document, and I know they're talking about the document of annexation, but I don't know what the other word meant.
That's so funny you said that, because I was going to say I totally forget what that line means.
The next verse is easy. We can do the next verse. Okay. Pane mai Hawaii I moku o ke ave.
Okay, I got this. Moku o ke
ave.
This is
you
me.
right there.
So, Big Island, we there for you. We hear you. We answer back. Big Island answers back.
There you go.
Boom.
Kokua na honoa o Pi'ilani.
Our homies out in Pi'ilani, they help out. And Pi'ilani is like a name, another name?
Poetic name, I guess. Yeah.
For Oahu?
Maui. So Maui, Kaho'olawe, Lanai, and Molokai.
Okay, Pi'ilani, yeah. So like Moku o Keawe, that's what they call Big Island, Pi'ilani, whatever. And then Oahu. Okay, we're going to go to the next one.
Yeah, Kauna names, I guess. Ka'ako'o, no.
Oh no, Kako mai Kauai o Mano.
Kako mai Kauai o Mano.
Yeah, so like Kauai, our homies out in Kauai, they also help Kauai o Mano.
Paupu meke o neo ka kuhi hewa.
Yeah, and then to wrap it all up, everybody on Oahu, Kakui Heva, we're there too.
Yeah. This is a fun game. You should do this as a game.
Paraphrasing
in like the cool slang way of doing it.
Well, I just figured I'd do that after the first time I tried to translate it, because I'm just like, how do I translate this scholarly. Then I was like, bad people. I was like, okay, let me just do my own version.
I love it. That's so good.
Okay, so and then
the third verse would be A'olea e kauika pulima.
Like, no way, we ain't signing that. We ain't living by that signature.
Kiko pau. Maluna o ka pepa o ka enemi.
On top of those enemies' papers. Yeah. No way.
No, by Kiko.
Yeah.
No.
Kiko Paul once again.
Enemy. Ho'ohui aina ku'ai heva.
Okay, so this is like we all come together, and I know the ku'ai heva part. I don't remember.
It's wrongfully purchased or wrongfully bought.
Yeah, so they're like it's like they're trying to get us to join their land or their how would you
their country.
Their country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like wrongfully done, so it's like the overthrow.
Yeah, that word heva, wrongfully.
Yeah.
Ika pono sivila o ke kanaka.
That's a cool word, civila. It just means civil.
Yeah. So we do kind of take the S and the T sometimes from these words.
It's like our civil rights.
Yeah, civil rights as
the
people.
Yeah.
Okay, they're my favorite verse.
Yeah.
Okay, so
right, get ready, people. Get ready.
Aole makoa e mina mina.
We ain't gonna be sad. We ain't gonna be disappointed. We keeping our heads up.
I kapu udala o ke aupuni.
Just because they got a lot of money and they got a big pile, stacks of money and power, who cares?
Ua lava mako I ka pohaku.
Oh, we got rocks, yo. We got rocks. We got the aina. We don't need you.
I ka ai ka maha o ka aina.
That's actually like really cool. That one just gave me chickens. Ka ai kamahao, because we're also saying like but like also like the food kamahao. It's like we like the food like
wondrous and amazing, but the sustenance and
of the people.
Yeah.
Now we're not really literally talking about food, like actually just like
the people.
We are enough.
Yeah.
Just like ai kamahao.
Everything.
Of everything.
So how we interact with each other and how we are enough as Hawaiians here in Hawaii. It kind of relates to us now. Yeah. It's not only back in the day 1893. It's how we relate to us now.
Yeah.
Mauna Kea. Yeah.
It's so awesome. Love that.
Okay, and the last one.
Haina, of course.
That slapped. Very good.
This slapped. This pa'is, yeah.
And then the last one is Mahope mako o lili ulani.
Yo, Queen Lil Kalani. Queen Lil Kalani, we got your back.
I
We're
KUINI.
behind you.
I
KUINI.
Aloha ai kapono ka aina.
So we're behind you until we got like our own rights of the people. Like our rights back. Like
so we get it back.
We get it back.
Haina ia mai ana kapuana.
Basically a fancy way to say this is the end of the song.
No kapoe I aloha I ka aina.
For the people who love this land of Hawaii. And repeat. Kiko Pau.
Wow,
we're just creating new segments.
That's good. What are we going to call that name? Can't call it fake or fake though. Shoot. We got to think of a creative one.
Yeah, translations with something.
Something with slaps in it. Because that slaps.
Yeah, that slaps. That putty. Let us know if that putties.
Yeah, we'll do Noho Pai Pai next time.
I love that. That was awesome. Okay. So, okay. Next question. So the second question of the last 5 questions. Because I think that just went off of me asking what was your favorite song.
Yeah.
We just totally went off the rails.
3 days later.
Yeah. Sometimes at the end of the podcast, it kind of gets off the rails. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I admit that. Okay, so these are for all the true hardcore people.
I'm gonna open up this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Since you're gonna be here for a while. No, I'm just kidding.
I swear, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. We're out of here.
Okay, got it.
Okay, all right. Favorite go-to restaurant?
Zippy's. No, it's actually for real. Like, even before they called me or they reached out to me for a partnership, freaking Zippy's was my go-to. Like, they have my favorite spaghetti. They have my favorite chili, no beans.
Kili.
Kili, yeah. Oh, let's see some of those too.
Okay, yes.
Pakeki is spaghetti. They used to have my favorite chocolate shake, but they took it away. What? So I'm sorry, but we'll see. Maybe it'll come back one day.
What is shake in Hawaiian?
I had to look it up.
Vayu?
It's Vayu Luli. Yeah. So Coco Leca chocolate shake.
Okay, so just milk shaken.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the best orange bang, which is Kui Alani. That one I went a little fun
bang.
with. Yeah.
Kui'alani.
She bangs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, cool. All right. Next one. Favorite place to travel outside of Hawaii?
I have 2. For the culture, Japan. Japan is amazing. If you haven't been to Japan, I love Japan because they kind of remind me. Their people remind me of Hawaii people. They're just very respectful. It's a clean place. They're very family oriented, and they love and appreciate and respect Hawaiian culture. Yeah, a lot of hula is there in Japan, so that's one. And number 2 is Vegas.
Yeah, the nice island.
Yeah. I kind of made up my own name. Don't sue me. I just call it Lakaweka.
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 Yeah.
Or
I do that sometimes with my dad. Just make up.
yeah.
Weird, yeah.
My mom them calls it lost wages. But
lost wages. Yeah.
that's
very
another
true.
story.
Yeah, it's just the most fun I've ever had losing money.
Right?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Okay. Next question. I think 2 more. Okay. All right. Favorite Hawaiian word. This is a tough one because there's so many. But
Yeah.
like I love ohana. It's tattooed on top of my forearm.
What is my favorite Hawaiian word? I don't want to separate them because they work together, and it's the phrase "awamo kuleana." Awamo kuleana. Just kuleana is often looked at as like a positive, but sometimes it's also the burden that you have to hold. Yeah, the burden of something heavy, or like historical trauma of language. Yeah, you gotta hold that burden to carry it and take it further. So, yeah, awamo kuleana.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, all right, last one. Okay, favorite TV show.
I'm gonna cheat again because it's a spin-off. Game of Thrones
House of Dragon.
into House of Dragon. Yeah.
Okay.
She
All right.
putties that.
That putties, except the last season of Game of Thrones.
Okay, yeah, we don't talk about.
We
Purno.
don't talk about
We
that.
don't talk about
That
Purno.
was a no Queenie.
It's okay.
No Queenie.
It's not a Kiko Pao.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
was Kiko.
Kiko
Pao.
Ninao. It's still a question mark. It's still
Kiko
happening.
Ninao. Kiko what is the exclamation
Ho'oho?
point?
Yeah, Kiko Ho'oho.
Yeah, it's like what? Hey, aha.
Hold on, Kiko Ma'aka, yeah.
Yeah, Kiko Ma'aka. What are you guys saying? House of Dragons is really awesome.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucks is we have to wait like 2 years until like the next one.
But you know what? It's gonna be worth it. I'm gonna say it's gonna be worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, mahalo so much for coming on the Hawaiiverse podcast today. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Just mahalo everyone for all your efforts in Mahina Olelo Hawaii. But don't stop there. Keep going. Makahiki Olelo Hawaii. And eventually, Ola Olelo Hawaii. Mahalo nui loa ya kako.
Love that. And where can we find you?
Ho'opini mai at Instagram. You'll find me on Zoom. Come check out one of my classes. We'll be starting a few more classes later on this month. Or you can find me in up in Papakola.
Nice. And we have a little makana from 7-Eleven for you as well.
Mahalo.
So,
thank you, 7-Eleven.
Mahalo.
Ehiku umikumakahi.
Yeah, hiku umikukai. Mahalo Kahanuola for joining us on the Hawaiiverse podcast today. Check us out on Hawaiiverse.com and download our app for the best place to support local. Spread aloha, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. New episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka, and you'll hear me next time on the Hawaiiverse podcast. Hui ho.
Yo. Kiko Pao.
Kiko Pao.